Greetings from Tokyo, my dear friends. This is Daisuke, and I very much hope that this video finds you well and in very good spirits wherever you are in the world. I would like to talk about some viewer questions today, if that's okay. And once again, thank you so much. Thank you so very much to all of you who very kindly submitted questions to me about a few months ago with respect to cinema and the like. And so I'm very flattered and very honored that you would have taken interest in anything that I might have to say about a particular question or topic. So thank you so much, my dear friends. And through the questions, and I've looked through them all, and they are really brilliant. Through those questions, you have also enabled me to learn more, and you have taught me, and you have shared with me, very generously, you have shared with me your perspectives and outlooks. And so I'm very honored and very flattered. So thank you very much for that. And in that spirit, my friends, let us now go to the next question, which is from Vont Bateau. So hello, Vont Bateau. And I very much like your name, your screen name, and your question here, because you ask, I've seen your videos on Jacques Rivette's Out One, Noli Me Tangere, which I've seen and adore. I watched it all during one day off of work. But what are your thoughts on Celine and Julie Go Boating? Also, your thoughts on Shuji Terayama's Pastoral to Die in the Country, as well as Lindsay Anderson's Oh Lucky Man. Thank you very much. Vont Bateau. So thank you very much for that question. And yes, you ask about Celine and Julie Go Boating, or Vont Bateau. So in fact, yes, this question is a wonderful one. So let me try to address it in the component parts. So let's see. So first of all, Lindsay Anderson, yes, and Lindsay Anderson and Terayama. So each of these filmmakers, Oh Lucky Man and Pastoral to Die in the Country. So I have not spoken about either of these, unfortunately, on this channel. So gosh, it would be so wonderful to be able to do that with more, with a video of sorts. So maybe one day I'll try to do so, but they are each in their own way, as I think you are suggesting in your wonderful question, each in their own way, quite fascinating and specific in that way in which they hold a sense of fascination. So, and there's a sense of a type of a sweep of history or touching upon historical contexts, as well as an interplay between that his context and also a type of critique, if you will, in particular the latter. Terayama, in particular, I must say, his works fascinate me to no end. I'm a great admirer of his works, in particular his cinematic works. They are very complex. Quite challenging indeed. And so I was actually thinking one of these days, wouldn't it be nice to try to talk more about the works of Terayama, Shuji Terayama, and there are many others. And so I was thinking, much like, say, a discussion that I had some time back here, maybe on the works of Edward Yang, or the works of Kazuo Hara, or the works of Carpenter, I was thinking maybe I could also talk about the works of Terayama one of these days. But before that, I still have to address, and I want to address the works of Angelopoulos. So, and that has been a long delayed, but pretty soon I hope to have off the ground project. So maybe after that, I'm not sure. Terayama might be next. So, but again, I'm not quite sure about that yet, because his works are I admit that there are so many facets to them, and that I haven't necessarily formulated everything that I hope to try to say. Not to say that my comments would be in any way definitive. On the contrary, they're always very shallow, intellectually speaking. My comments are, and so. But in that context, or be that as it may, still. They are things that I watch them, and yet at the same time I feel in a really challenged and wonderful way. I feel almost like my balance has shifted, and so I feel almost out of place, which is a great feeling to be. It makes one reconsider and reconsider and reconsider yet again one's position. And Pastoral to Die in the Country is, I think, a wonderful example of that. It's a brilliant, thought-provoking work. So. One of these days, I'd love to be able to do that. And speaking of which, also, you remind me, and thank you very much for this, you remind me about my endeavor in the past to talk about each of the works in the series Out One, the Jacques Rivette series. And so I started up to a certain point, I think the first two, and then I ended. I didn't end definitively, but I've always wanted to go back to it. But what happened was I shot the next videos for the next two, but I ran into some technical difficulty, and so they ended up being very, very, there were some technical issues that prohibited me from being able to have those third and fourth videos up the way I had originally intended. And so from there I had to redo them, but I haven't had a chance to readdress that, and so some time passed, unfortunately, and so I've always had it in the back of my mind to revisit that video discussions, because there are a number of things that I wanted to say but have still not had a chance to speak about. So I've been thinking, it's been some time, and there are a number of things going on, but one of the things too is going back to the Out One discussions, either starting from where I left off or just starting fresh again, maybe starting from the first entry and then going back, because I have seen it a number of times since, and I think I can maybe my comments in the first two might change a little bit. So maybe I might try to go back to it and start from number one and then go forward with that. But it's been another one of those things that I've always wanted to get to. Again, the oft-used phrase, which is true, and that's why it's oft-used, which is so much to do, so little time. I mean, I wish I had more time. It's just things happen, and things come up, and so before one knows it, it's already a year past or a couple years past, etc. So that's the nature of time. But in any event, that Out One series discussion hopefully will one day see a return in some form. I haven't forgotten about that, and so that's been one of my great failings on this channel, of many failings, but that's one of them. And so, but thank you very much for this very kind reminder, and thank you very much for the comment too. I'm very, very honored. Now to your the remaining component of your question, which is what are your thoughts about Celine and Julie go boating, and which is why I refer to that lovely name, Vont Bateau. So Celine and Julie go boating, yes. I think the timing was such that this comment that you very kindly, or this question that you kindly provided, was maybe sent to me before I had uploaded a discussion on this channel about the recent Criterion Collection release of the film Celine and Julie Go Boating. So I think that might have been the timing. But in any event, whatever the case may be, my friend, I did, yes, speak, at least in the context of the Criterion release, I did speak a little bit to my thoughts about the film Celine and Julie Go Boating, as well as I say, the context of that Criterion release that was made somewhat recently. So if you're interested, I can leave a link below to this video, and again, if you're interested. If not, that's okay, no problem at all, but I will leave the link in the description box below. Yes, I think it is a very it is a very, as per customary with the works of Rivette, the layering is sublime and superb. And there is a sense of mystery and ghosts and specters and the afterlife and the supernatural, but there's also the sense of magic and playfulness and cheerfulness in the air. Kids playing in the summer, that kind of feeling, that feeling of spirit and adventure and kinship, as well as the sense of danger and that sense of the unknown and the foreboding. So this is, I think, a very and a portent. And so I think this is very, and so much more too. There's the idea of the fairy tale, and also the idea of the sort of counterculture, and as well as the idea of an independent filmmaking streak, as well as this lovely tale, or tale within tales, or tales within tales within tales, because as you know, it has this quite this labyrinthine structure, which is in and of itself very fascinating. So, so that's my general gist, as it were. But if you are interested, again, I'll leave the link to the video below. So, Vont on Bateau, thank you so much for the lovely question and comment. I very much appreciate it. And to all my dear friends, thank you very much. And until we meet again, please be happy and healthy and well, and please keep on watching a lot of great movies. So thank you so much, as always, for your time. I very much appreciate it. Stay strong, stay safe, and cheers.